Using substitution property, that is delta ij is equal to alpha pi alpha pj, I can write this two as alpha ip as it is delta qr apqcr. Okay, this is what a prime ij c prime j. So again, using substitution property, I can write this delta qr cr as cq. So alpha ip as it is, apq as it is, this two is nothing but cq. So here you can observe this is vector or tensor of order 1. So first part of the proof is over. That means third order tensor reduces to tensor of order 1 or vector. The second part is aik bkj. These two are components of second order tensor. This is what we supposed to prove. Okay, so again from contraction law we know that second or from previous property, that is multiplication property, we know that multiplication of two second order tensor, components of second order tensor, will give you fourth order tensor. That is a prime ik b prime mj is equal to alpha ip alpha kq apq and alpha mr alpha js brs. This is what we know from multiplication of two tensor. So here what we supposed to change, we want a prime ik and b prime kj. So replace m with k. Alpha ip alpha kq apq alpha kr alpha js brs. Okay, from substitution property I can write delta ip into, from these two it will be delta qr alpha js as it is apq brs. So again from substitution property these two changes to alpha ip as it is, alpha js as it is, apq as it is, these two changes to bqs. So you can observe here, you have considered the fourth order tensor and you reduced that fourth order tensor to second order tensor. This is the second part of the proof. The last part is you have to consider second order tensor. Second order tensor reduces to scalar. So we know that fourth order tensor reduces to second order tensor. So from fourth order tensor I have alpha ip alpha kq apq alpha mr alpha js brs. This is fourth order tensor. What I want is second order tensor I am considering a prime ij b prime ij. So here I should replace k with j and m with I. So what we will get, alpha ip alpha jq apq and alpha ir alpha js brs. So using substitution property what I will get, alpha delta pr these two, delta qs these two, APQ and BRS as it is. Okay, so again from these two I will get BPS using substitution property, and these two reduces to, okay, I will write those two as it is. Okay, so what I will get from these two, again this is APQ, APQ. That means I have considered second order tensor, and this second order tensor reduces to scalar, that is order of tensor 0. This is nothing but contraction law. So we have proved 3 different cases in contraction law. The last property is quotient law. Here also we have two cases. Let's solve one by one. Quotient law says that if AI is the component of order triplet and BI is any arbitrary vector, then if AI BI is a scalar, we have to prove that AI alone is a component of vector. This is first part, and the second part is if I consider Aij component of 3 cross 3 matrix and BI an arbitrary vector, if this Aij Bj is a vector, then we should prove that Aij is tensor. Okay, let's prove one by one. So first what I will do is I will consider AI. We know that AI BI are scalars. Okay, so from that I can write AI BI is equal to AI prime BI prime, isn't it? So since BI is a component of vector B, we can write AI BI is equal to AI prime as it is, BI prime as alpha IP BP. Okay, so from this I can write AI BI minus AI prime alpha IP BP is equal to 0. This is nothing but, since II is our dummy suffix, I will change it to AP BP minus AI prime alpha IP BP is equal to 0. So take BP common, it become AP minus AI prime alpha IP is equal to 0. Since BP is any arbitrary vector, I can write AP minus AI prime alpha IP is equal to 0. From this, AP is equal to AI prime alpha IP. So you can observe here AP, or I can say AI, obeys the transformation rule of a vector. So we have proved that AI is a component of vector. This is first part of the proof. The second part is we are considering 3 cross 3 matrix and an arbitrary vector. Okay. Since Aij Bj is a vector, I am denoting that as Aij Bj is equal to Ci. If this is true, then this is also true. We know that, right? So Ci prime is equal to A prime Ij B prime J. Here B prime J and Ci primes are vectors. So I can write Ci prime as alpha IP Cp, A prime Ij as it is, and B prime J as alpha JQ BQ. I will call this as equation 1. So this is why, because Ci and Bi are components of vectors. So multiply both sides by alpha IR. So here we have multiplied alpha IR on both sides. So alpha IR. Using substitution property, alpha IR alpha IP is nothing but delta PR. Cp as it is. This whole time I have retained as it is. So again using substitution property, this became Cr. This is I have retained as it is. So from this I can write Cr as Arq Bq is equal to this whole term. So I will take my RHS term to LHS side. I will get A prime Ij alpha Ir alpha Jq Bq is equal to 0. Take Bq common. You will get Arq minus A prime Ij alpha Ir alpha Jq is equal to 0. Since Bq is an arbitrary vector, I can write Arq is equal to alpha Ir alpha Jq A prime Ij. So here you can observe you have got second order tensor. Okay, that means Arq or Aij obey the transformation rule of second order tensor. So this is all about properties of basic properties of tensor. So now let's use this property and we will solve some problems based on this. Okay, the first problem is show that delta Ij are components of second order tensor. We have to prove that delta Ij are components of second order tensor, and also we have to deduce that delta prime Ij is equal to delta Ij. That is nothing but this is a scalar invariance. So using Kronecker delta symbol concept, I can write delta Ij as Ei dot Ej. Okay, so we can treat delta Ij as matrix of 3 cross 3 matrix in xi system. So for any vector B with components Bi, okay, we have delta Ij Bj is equal to Bi. This is we know. So that means which are components of a vector B itself, isn't it? So by quotient law we can write delta Ij are components of tensors. This is the first part of the proof. That is what we are supposed to prove, right? It is a second order tensor. The next part is we have to prove delta Ij is equal to delta prime Ij. So using since delta Ij is second order tensor, I can write using transformation rule delta Ij prime as alpha Ip alpha Jq delta Pq. Okay, this is nothing but alpha Ip as it is. Using substitution property, this become delta Pi. Sorry, delta Jq, not Pi, it is a delta Jq. Okay, so P is equal to, if P is equal to Q, you will get delta PQ and the value is 1. That means delta prime Ij is equal to, again using substitution property, wait. I will repeat this part once again. We have to prove delta prime Ij is equal to delta Ij to prove. Okay, so using transformation rule, we know that delta prime Ij is nothing but alpha Ip alpha Jq delta Pq. If P is equal to Q, you will get this as delta Pp. So delta Pp or delta Qq value is 1. So I can write this as alpha Ip alpha Jq. Since I am considering P is equal to Q, this will be alpha Ip alpha Jp. So using substitution property, this becomes delta Ij. That is delta Ij prime is equal to delta Ij. So this is all about problems and properties of tensor. So now let's move to isotropic tensors. Isotropic tensors. Isotropic tensors are nothing but a tensor whose components, the components of a tensor should remain unchanged in all coordinate systems or in all coordinate transformation. Okay, that means if I consider nth order tensor, higher order tensor, then the component of xi system should be equal to the components of xi prime system. This is nothing but isotropic tensor. There is a theorem based on isotropic tensor. The theorem states that if I consider Aij theorem, Aij as a component of an isotropic tensor, okay, then this implies Aij is equal to alpha into delta ij, where alpha is some scalar. This is the statement of the theorem. So we can prove this theorem using the concept of isotropic tensor. That is, Aij is the component of isotropic tensor in xi system. That means I can write Aij is equal to A prime ij. Okay.